Welcome to Off the Mat, your new wrestling obsession. We got a great show for you tonight. So much to talk about. Normally, we kick the show off talking about our news. I think tonight we're going to do our Clash in Paris review first. So that way it kind of leads into our developing top stories today and potentially tomorrow. And what we're really going to talk about, the meat and potatoes, what we're going to talk about. So, Sticks, I'm going to hand it off to you right off the bat. Let's just get right into Clash in Paris and talking a little bit about the final PLE on Peacock.
The Peacock era.
Oh, man. Peacock era has come to an end.
I have to say one thing. Those damn freaking commercials are pains in the asses, man. Peacock throws commercial after commercial, and I hate that unless you don't pay for commercials. But, dude, I'm tired of commercials interfering with my freaking PLEs, man. It's like, it's annoying.
I didn't get to watch it till after, so I didn't watch it live, so I didn't have commercials, but or very few if I did.
The commercials, man, are freaking annoying, dude. I didn't get a chance to watch it from the beginning because I was, I was working, and but when it came on, when I got home and I watched the last two matches, the commercials, man. Why so many commercials?
I hear you.
I actually like the pay-per-view more than I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to be a waste of time and it was going to be a dud, but I actually enjoyed it.
I'm very surprised on that because I thought it was very critical. I thought that you would be the very critical one when it came to
I'm critical of a lot of things on it, but I still enjoyed it. I had a good time.
Yeah. I called it the Saturday night main event of PLEs last week. And I still stand that the card on the outside looked dismal, but the show was good.
I'll tell you what, the match of the night, freaking Cena and freaking goddamn Logan Paul.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I definitely have to. Listen, we all joke about things saying, Logan Paul, but that dude can wrestle, man. That all right. Mind you, there's a couple of little mishaps that him and Cena have, but dude, he is a highlight reel, man. And for the short time he's been wrestling, he is a highlight reel. And I can honestly say that, it is entertaining watching him fight. It's just unfortunate that he's falling into the parts where people are complaining that, we all complain about the championship matches, that there should be more championship matches, that the certain belts aren't shown enough, which makes no sense. These PLEs should have the belts, regardless of the fact of which ones are there. You should have everything should be championship matches. Not just regular fights. But I gotta say, man, that was the match of the night, and the highlight of the night had to be the AJ Styles. AJ Styles, those fans, unfriggin' believable, and that's the biggest botch that they did. AJ Styles should have won, plain and simple. Freaking El Grande Americano, man.
Well, there's reasons why, and we'll talk about that when we get to the AJ Styles Dominic Mysterio match. But Sticks, let's get into it.
All right. Yeah. All right. Our first matchup, right off the bat, with Roman Reigns defeating Bronson Reed. Then our after match.
A 50-minute match from start to finish. 50 minutes. Your first hour of the PLE was this. Not to mention your first 20 minutes was a Roman Reigns entrance.
Yes. Yes.
But 50 minutes start to finish with this. Bunch of ones in the air. It was a good match though, for what it was. I'm surprised that Roman got the win.
We all right.
Yep.
I said Roman wins by disqualification. I know you said Everybody picked Bronson Reed to actually win.
Well, I picked Bronson Reed because they just gave him new merch.
No, new merch.
And now the Tribal Thief T-shirt is irrelevant. His brand new merch is irrelevant now because he's not the Tribal Thief anymore. Roman got his shoes back. And all they did was take Roman out. And I wish that we all knew they were going to write Roman off TV, right? Because he's got to go film Street Fighter. I wish they would find a more I don't want to say entertaining, but creative way to write Roman Reigns off TV. Because this seems to be the cycle with Roman Reigns. He goes away after WrestleMania. He comes back. He gets laid out and destroyed, taken out in a stretcher. Then he's gone for a few more months, and then he comes back and rinse and repeat. He always gets taken off the same TV the same way. I wish they would come up with a more creative way to write him off TV than just have him get absolutely demolished.
Oh, you got demolished.
Guy, he's supposed to be your big face of the company, and he's getting just demolished by a 300-pound dude just falling on him. Like you knew, and it was telegraphed that it was going to happen because Braun Breaker's he's taking his time signing shoes, throwing them into the crowd. They kind of set it up where they prepared the tables, the French announce table first, and then they kind of just set up that whole spot well in advance. You knew it was coming. It was just like,
yeah.
And I mean, I called it. I said, something's going to happen to where those two are banned from ringside, so we're going to get our fourth man to show up later on in the Seth match.
No.
I mean, we got a variant of that, which we'll talk about, but all in all, in my opinion, I thought this was a good match. Good showing for Bronson Reed, but I still think Bronson Reed needs a better finisher than the Tsunami. I personally just think the Tsunami is the dumbest finishing.
But what do you want, Matt? Big dude. What are you gonna have him finish? It's
a Vader bomb, anything.
Just I know.
Quickly climbing up to the top rope and then falling off of it because he doesn't really jump. He just gets up there and falls off of it, and his arms do this before he hits the ground.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like a cartoon character. I know. Hey, look, I will admit that Roman Reigns definitely gets written off of TV the same way time and time again. Should be a different way of getting written off, but the suspense for him coming back, when he does come back, it will make a shocker. Probably come back for Survivor Series. He's written off TV until the Survivor Series maybe. But a solid showing for Bronson Reed. I think if Bronson Reed was in for bigger things before he hurt his ankles, before he broke his ankles, and to get him back to a particular spot that he's in now, they're kind of pushing the envelope because eventually, I know that I got a feeling that the vision is not going to last long. I think the vision will probably dismantle after Survivor Series. I don't think it's going to be around much longer. But I think the more they show Bronson Reed, the more he gets more credibility. Yes, the Tsunami, it may not be the most liked thing, but he's a big dude, and when he lands on you, it's like Mark Henry jumping on friggin' Mae Young. Remember that?
Well, and it's the Looney Tunes of it all because they had all of these referees and all the security come out to try and stop him. And you let Bronson Reed literally run around the ring, get up there and do it again. And it was kind of just the whole spot was just very wacky and ridiculous. But
that whole thing reminded me of a kid getting away from their parents, getting a cookie.
Yeah.
No, I want the cookie.
Like a toddler running.
Grab another cookie, shove them in the mouth.
And takes off running. Yeah, it just
takes off running.
I want to see Bronson Reed versus Otis. I think they already did that already, but have him when Otis comes back, come back on the main rosters.
I think it was one of the first things Bronson did.
Yeah, something like that. Because he's a big dude, and like I said, he has very, very few range of motion because he's a big guy the way he is. So the Tsunami, which is just the free fall. It should be the free fall. That's what basically is, a free fall.
And there's no setup for it. He just climbs the rope and falls off of it. He gets up to the top rope and then and down he goes. At least the Vader bomb, he could get up there and jump off the middle rope, propel himself down, and give a splash that way. It
He
just
should do a swan dive or a friggin' flip.
I don't think that big man's flipping, dude. That big man ain't flipping anywhere.
What do you want him to do? The triple Indy?
Yo, listen, friggin' Lee, what's his name?
Jumped over to the next corner.
What's Michin's husband? Lee. What's his name?
Keith
Lee. He used to do that shit in NXT. Samoa Joe used to go crazy over the ropes, and he's a big dude too. Those big dudes just a freaking fly. I don't know, man. I can just imagine Bronson Reed coming off. He's gonna do one big power, like he's never gonna climb the rope again, like the ring, like he did in Survivor Series. He broke his ankle. He's never gonna do that again. But
you won't see him going up.
He permanently screwed himself up too. So like one of his ankles is completely messed up, and he can't do half the things he could do before, or so he says. But I don't know. I just think, the big man. I want to see the big man pull some power moves, and to me, just like a tsunami isn't that devastating of a finish. Like you want me to believe that him falling on someone is going to take that dude out for months on end. Like you have to give me at least like a Swan Tom or like a Vader Bomb or something. Give me some power move that makes it a little bit more believable than just crashing down on somebody.
Yeah. You call it the tsunami mommy, I don't know, but it still was a good match. 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, give or take. All right, Sticks. Give us the results on this match.
So, I want to say that I watched that today, and you did call them getting barred from ringside. I thought it was going to happen during. I thought it would have happened on SmackDown or something, where they said, "And these two are not going to be able to be at ringside." Come that match.
Yeah.
He's got his own match. Then he'll have to be escorted out of the building. But it went just way you said it was going to. Really. So, up next was an added match. The Wyatt Six retaining the tag team titles over the Street Profits.
I think everyone pretty much saw this outcome.
Yeah. We didn't talk about this one, so everyone got 10 points on it. So
the interesting part in this is I'm using Bo Dallas in that they're kind of giving him the Karrion Kross gig a little bit on SmackDown, where he's out of his Uncle Howdy mask talking to the Street Profits and kind of putting that air of doubt in Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford's minds, and kind of like corrupting them a little bit.
Yeah,
I really think that they're on the verge of potentially splitting up the Street Profits and Montez Ford going out on his own.
Look, I think, me personally, if they do split them up, I think they should split them up on brands. Have Dawkins have Montez Ford go to Raw, and then friggin' Dawkins stays on SmackDown. Instead of having them battle, the same old thing that they're gonna fight each other. Like we all know that, because you see the one scene where he puts his arm on it and he holds him, and Ford is like, what are you doing? I think they should go their separate ways without that fight, like going to different brands.
That's not WWE style, Dom.
No, it's not. I know, but I'm kind of upset the fact that the Karrion Kross gig that they gave Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas. I'm like, man, so it was, I still have hope that they're coming back.
I will say I was surprised that they did the Bo Dallas without the mask.
They should do that. Like, look,
because his whole shtick has been with the mask.
I know, but
he hasn't taken it away.
See, I think the Uncle Howdy thing should be limited to certain things. Have Bo Dallas do his thing. You know what? He actually, it's pretty good. What he's doing. I just, like I said, it just sucks that if this is working out the way it is, Karrion Kross's days might be numbered for coming back.
But Karrion Kross ain't coming back, man.
I don't think it's. Had they been doing with Bo Dallas like they did with Bray Wyatt, where Bray had the normal side, and then and the Fiend would come out, when he went to the match. If they had been doing that from the beginning with Bo, it would have made more sense with him come out. I'm like, first off, I had to think about who it freaking was. I'm like, who the hell is that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Bo Dallas with the mask. Okay.
Yeah.
So but yeah, we could have seen this one, them retaining from a mile away. So, and then the Street Profits, there was a little bit of animosity at the beginning of the match, a little bit in the middle, but by the end of the match, they were just decimated and separated anyway. So it didn't really matter.
Oh,
next was the Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Becky Lynch retaining over Nikki Bella.
I kind of feel bad for Nikki Bella. She climbed that rope so gracefully, and then did that kick that made it fell down and it got hurt a knee, and it's like, oh man, she was like a beginner that didn't know what she was doing.
Oh, you mean when she delivered the disaster kick to John Cena?
Yeah. You can't see me. Yo, you can't see me. Boom. And I felt bad for her. And she hurt her knee. And then she was 1, 2, 3. And then she got pinned. They probably said, yo, that's it. Pin her. Pin. That's it. Match done.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think that was the change in any of the outcome at all. But
we all know that Becky was going to win. You see?
Yeah.
I blame Becky for this match a lot because Becky has a tendency, as good as she is, to be sloppy too.
Yeah.
And Becky was clearly out of place on that disaster kick. She wasn't where she was supposed to be. Her cartoony nature when she's getting bounced off the announce table, how she's so over animated when she's getting bounced around that it makes it look fake and terrible.
Yeah.
And you can clearly see her hands smacking the table and her head coming nowhere near the table.
Yeah,
that camera angle was way too close or in wrong position.
I don't want to see these two compete again, and it's no fault on Nikki Bella. It's kind of like
Nikki,
in a way, like it feels like Nikki Bella's time has passed her by. She's very much an era of the butterfly belt, and she doesn't really. When you look at it in the grand scheme of things, she doesn't really fit in with today's current crop of female superstars. So it just feels like she kind of passed by, but at the same time, I would like to see her as the Intercontinental champion. I just don't want to see her and Becky go at it again, just because it's like Becky almost downplayed her. It's like Becky's like, okay, well, I don't have to wrestle my best match because I don't want to make her look good. And Becky was out of place. She was sloppy. My blame on this match goes more so towards Becky than Nikki.
From the get go, the match was sloppy from the get go. And it sucks too. Another thing too, I can honestly say, her boob getting injured from what's the face landing on her.
Niven.
Yeah, Piper Niven freaking jumping on her. Yeah, I'm not saying that had a lot to do with it too, but they were probably playing it safe too. Like I said, you're right. Nikki Bella, her time with the Diva Championship, that was when she dominated her and Brie. When they're the Bella twins. How old is Nikki now? Nikki's like freaking in her 40s. She's in her 40s, I think.
She might be in her 40s.
But
she is 41.
41. And Becky Lynch, you're right. In a way, Becky, when you're a superstar, you always play the card when you're fighting somebody, and always make that person look good too. You know how to play both sides to make the person's not do. If the person have a problem to really get into the play itself, you always have the person that can actually help to make it look good. And you're right. Watching Becky fight, she wasn't like helping Brie that much.
You mean Nikki?
Not Brie, Nikki. I mean Nikki. Not that much in the match.
Didn't show up.
So it's like she let her like, just fit her out to the wolves, type of thing. But I feel bad. That kick, I don't know what,
I felt that she rushed it. Nikki rushed it, got up and jumped sooner than Becky. So Becky was out of spot.
Yeah.
Now that should be on both of them. I mean,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
But then she hurt her knee. She was holding her knee. So I think she got her leg caught up in the rope when she jumped, and it kind of like, I don't know, man.
Well, she probably heard it when she hit John Cena in the head.
Yeah. John Cena's got a big head.
He does have a big head.
Yeah.
All right. Up next. Sheamus submits to Rusev in the
you said that Logan Paul, John Cena took the night, and I agree with you, but what a banger this match turned out to be.
You're right.
I thought for sure that this match, I was like, we've seen it. I don't need to see it again. This Donnybrook match is going to be ridiculous. It was really good.
It was good. Yeah.
Really good. Like,
I'm very surprised. I'm surprised that Sheamus lost again. You would think that he would finally get revenge and win the match, because now this leads to what? Sheamus, Rusev 4?
No, I think they're done. Sheamus, it seems like Rusev is moving on. And he's kind of thrown out a challenge to the rest of the WWE roster. He's playing a little bit of that Redeemer role that he had in AEW in WWE with this Rusev character now, kind of mixing the two. He, seems more comfortable now that he's back, more confident. But I think the new Cracker Barrel logo should be Rusev giving Sheamus the accolade on top of the whiskey barrels.
Right.
That should be the new Cracker Barrel logo.
There you go. It was a banger. It was a banger match, and like I said, it showed. Hey, look, we always make fun like wrestlers get older, this and that, but still got this stuff. Like, Rusev in the beginning when he came back, he was a little rusty, but now he's coming.
He hasn't wrestled in a long time.
I know, and now that he's coming back in his own, and like I said, and then Sheamus, look, you gotta give it to Sheamus. When he came back, he got hurt, came back, and freaking Drew McIntyre said banger after burger type of thing when he gained weight. He got himself back into shape, back into shape.
I love that. That was funny.
Yeah, I love that. He goes banger after banger. You mean burger after burger? But yeah, this was a good match. It's kind of funny how the matches that had no championship caliber thing turned out to be one of the best matches, if you really think about it. With no gold on the line, and you see. And that's one of the things I understand. You want to put these matches in these holes to fill in these holes, but I'm going to keep saying it. You have these big pay-per-views, championship matches, man.
At least you got to have at least 3.
Right?
You
had the tag team championship
in a 5-6 match card. You should have at least 3 of them.
You had the tag team championships. You had the championship. You had the Intercontinental Women's Championship, and you had the Dirty Dom, the Intercontinental Championship. But still, where's the U.S. Championship?
Yeah, Sami Zayn just won it on SmackDown the night before. Yeah. Are you talking about the women's? The women's mid card's a shit show. I don't. Who even cares? Like, really, the women's mid card is an absolute shit show.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh,
all right. John Cena defeating Logan Paul, and I should have put this in here using AJ Styles' own move there, the Styles Splash.
Styles Clash, yeah.
Well, so I'm gonna tell you this. John Cena there people that were trying to say that they want John Cena versus AJ Styles matches and that, so he paid tribute by doing AJ Styles things. He goes, am I going to be able to fight him? I'll give him tribute, and he went out and he did AJ Styles moves, which was kind of awesome. I like the awesome, so. And that's a good tribute. That's really cool. You pay tribute by using the other person's moves in the match, for respect. That's actually awesome.
A lot of times you get it in a match when they're facing each other to use their own move against them.
Yeah.
Where here he's paying homage to,
and because you can't fight him. Hey, look, how many matches he has left? What? How many? Like 5?
I think 10.
I think.
No. Yeah. I think he's got 10 appearances left.
Appearances.
Okay. How many more fights he has? Like 5. Like 10 appearances, but 5.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, but
2 or 3 for sure, because he's got his retirement match,
Wrestlepalooza,
and Survivor Series.
Survivor Series. All right. No, that's what I've heard. I heard that they're moving his retirement match to 2026.
Nope, it's still
Saturday
main event, November.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
He's not going to let him. He's not going to let him move it to 2026 because then he's going to look like a liar. Because he's made a big point of, I'm done at the end of this year. I'm not going to keep coming back. That's it. He ain't going to let him push it to 2026. I would love to see him squash Dominic Mysterio and take the IC title real quick and then drop it to AJ before his retirement match, so that way him and AJ can both get that belt before he retires.
Yeah, it's just a shame. Go ahead. Go,
I was gonna say the only way I see him going into 2026 is if he's fighting Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble.
He's not. He's fighting Brock Lesnar at Wrestlepalooza.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah.
Like I said, that would be the only way. If there was something that happens and he said, "No, I want to beat you, one more match." And then
not for anything, man. You sit there, we look at this, this is it, man. John Cena is going to retire. You're not going to get John Cena fighting anymore after this. He's mostly going to stay Hollywood career. He just got it. Also, it was confirmed that James Gunn, Peacemaker, is going to be in Superman, the new Superman 2.
World of
Man of Tomorrow.
So he's going to be in it, part of it. So he's got a lot of things. He got a lot of things to be filming coming up, and apparently a 3rd season of Peacemaker is also in the card. So he has a lot of work ahead of him. So he's got things going. So he don't need wrestling. And the same thing like Dave Bautista, and now The Rock. The Rock, you get your wish, Matt. No Rock, man. The Rock is.
I know. I'm so excited. I'm so happy about that.
I know. So the final boss is done.
But look, this match, John Cena, even in loss, John Cena put over Logan Paul and made him a bona fide star in the WWE.
Yes.
Logan Paul looked good. Him and John Cena went the distance. Imagine if they didn't do that shit ass heel run and we got this John Cena last 8 months.
Oh, man.
And we didn't have, or even like if they did the heel run, give us the Dr. Thugonomics, which is what everybody wanted with that hero aspect of it, and just let John Cena wrestle instead of whine and bitch and piss and moan and point fingers at everybody. All it did was make for a couple good viral moments with the kid, that he absolutely demolished. And then now that they've made up,
and the kid's taking pictures of Julia's behind.
And the kid wanted an autograph, and Cena wasn't going to give it to him. Cena gave him a hug, and then he wanted to get greedy and get an autograph, and Cena was like, "Nah, I'm not doing that," and walked away from him. But it was a great match. Like Stick said, Cena had to go deep into his bag. Code Red. He dropped a Styles Clash. It did kind of start getting finishery after finishery after finishery there for a minute. And how many AAs are you going to hit him with? And how many AAs is Logan Paul going to flip out of? And like, I was waiting for that viral moment. I thought for sure we were going to get a viral moment where they would find themselves up at the ramp and Logan Paul's going to flip or frog splash off the Eiffel Tower set they had on the stage.
Viva la France!
But
yeah,
I just, as a WWE fan, I feel ripped off because just think of if we got this John Cena for his entire run instead of the tired ass, lame ass attempt.
Well,
and to their credit, the heel turn was a thing of beauty at the standpoint of like getting everybody talking.
yeah.
It got everybody talking about WWE. It got everybody interested in the WrestleMania, but it didn't produce anything more than that. Like the ideas and theories and speculation in the IWC was more entertaining than what we actually got from the John Cena heel turn.
Yep.
So I think like I sit here and think like, man, if The Rock never get involved, if Travis Scott never gets involved, if we do the Dr. Thugonomics and John Cena just goes heel that way, and he's not really heel, he's just kind of more edge to him than being Superman, Golden Boy Cena, Super Cena, and we just get a little bit more something out of him, where I'm okay with him cheating to win, using the belt, things like that. But I just feel like, man, TKO and WWE ripped us off of the last 8 months of Cena's last year in WWE.
And again, we talked, especially at the beginning of the year, after WrestleMania and a couple PLEs therein, how badly really John Cena got the shaft because The Rock didn't come back.
Yeah.
You know, sets this up. Beautiful setup, right? Beautiful. He goes heel. Everyone's talking about it. Going into WrestleMania. Where's The Rock? Rock says, fuck you, I ain't showing up. Or, you know, whatever the colloquialism may be coming from The Rock. You know? And then it all goes, that heel turn goes south. Right from there. Right from WrestleMania, because he doesn't show up. And then they gotta figure out, they gotta do a 360 and say, well, what the hell are we gonna do now? If he's not gonna show up, we've got him heel. What are we gonna do? I still think they did all right with it, but it isn't what it was supposed to be. It could have been a whole lot better than what we got.
The heel thing was good, but they missed out on the capper that could have been spectacular on the heel run. The Rock,
it could have been so much.
Messed up the entire storyline that could have been something really cool. You know, we could have got The Rock versus Cena, which that should have been one of the matches that Rock fought. You know, because The Rock is like, listen, you were part of my thing, blah blah blah. You know, you betrayed me, you lost the belt. You know, I'm the father. If you got to fight me, you know, all these things. The Rock, that the whole story between that and Cody, the Cody storyline too, everything went south. And then they had to run with the whole Cena thing, and it does suck because if we got this Cena for the couple of the months that he was heel, I think we would have friggin' lost it, because there would have been so many potential matches that he could have had, so many things that he could have done. You know, but look, all kidding aside, if you're gonna turn him heel, you turn him heel, which was a great idea, but other than that, you should have just left him the way it was. And just,
I mean, I think the John Cena heel turn would have been better if he was, like I said, Dr. Thugonomics. And he just comes out with this attitude after beating Cody Rhodes of, you know, I'm the best now. And he kind of had it with the whole never seen 17 thing, where he's like, I'm the greatest of all time. I'm 17-time world champion. I'm going to ruin professional wrestling because I'm the last real wrestler. Cool. That's all good. The crying about the crowd and the people turning on him is the weak point. It's like he had no direction. Like I said, I'm okay with him if he was cocky and if he was going back to like Dr. Thugonomics instead of Super Cena. And it would have been better if like he's beating everybody with their own finisher. Could you imagine like how disgraceful and villainous and heelish that would be if he's beating all these guys with their own finishing move? He's not using the AA. He's not using the STF. He's just beating you with your own finisher. Can you imagine if like he beat Cody with the Crossroads, or if he beat, you know, anybody, or Randy Orton with an RKO, you know?
Right.
If he beat Logan Paul with the forearm or the pulverizer, how cool that would have been. Like, I know by this time he's already back to being face, but he beats R-Truth with his own move. I mean, who else did he wrestle that I'm not thinking of? He beat Punk with the GTS. So much better that he's like, I'm so good I don't even have to use my moves. I'll just use yours. Like, just make him heel like just this, like almost Vince McMahon arrogance.
Yeah.
You could have went with, where he's like, I'm gonna leave the last professional wrestler because none of you are good enough. I'm 17-time world champion. I'm the best there is. None of you are good enough. None of you compare. I'm gonna take this championship home with me because there's no need for it here anymore because none of you are on my level. Just
you don't deserve
ramp it up. The crying about the crowd and you all never backed me and nah, dude, that just didn't work. But
well, you could have had some of that, but at the end of the day, you could have turned around and said, you know what? Hey, boo all you want. It's because you guys, I'm who I am now. All this goody two shit that I did to please you guys are selfish, and you guys shouldn't have got it in the first place. I'm who I want to be, and that's it. And go out and going, I'm freaking John Cena. This is Dugonomics, son. Just went.
Could you imagine the heel heat he would have got in St. Louis if he hits Randy Orton with the belt, then turns around and delivers an RKO to him and pins him after hitting him with an RKO? It would have been next level.
That would have been fun. That would have been crazy.
But, he had a great match. It seems like it's finally dawning on him that his time in WWE is coming to an end and he's in the back half of this run. And now he's leaving everything he had out there. Like he was saving some gas in the tank to get to this point, and now he's going to leave it all out there because he had a banger street fight with Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. And now he has a banger match with Logan Paul at Clash in Paris. And I hope we just don't see him go out there and get suplexed fucking 52 times by Brock Lesnar at Wrestlepalooza, and that's it. Like that match scares me a little bit just because last time they wrestled, we just saw Brock Lesnar toss him around the ring like a rag doll.
I mean, I
don't want to see that in Cena's final run. I want to see Cena actually like put up a fight.
Mm-hmm. And well, we'll see if they book that match for Wrestlepalooza. I think they might.
Are. But Brock Lesnar is going to be on SmackDown tomorrow night.
They just said here professional wrestling votes. Tomorrow's episode of SmackDown in Chicago is expected to be John Cena's final appearance on this show. Only 7 dates left in the schedule. It's unlikely Cena will appear on another SmackDown. This is it. Last SmackDown.
And they're saying that speculatively because John Cena started his career in Chicago.
Yeah.
And so what fitting way to have his last SmackDown appearance in Chicago, but his appearances have already been listed. And I mean, he's got a couple SmackDown dates left, so I don't know where they're getting that information.
I don't know.
Because according to online, he's got Friday Night SmackDown Chicago on September 5th, Monday Night Raw in Springfield on September 15th, Wrestlepalooza in Indianapolis, then Crown Jewel, Survivor Series. So, I mean, it could be. But I thought he was supposed to be on SmackDown a couple more times. And then, let's see, where were we at? Yeah, so it's going to be SmackDown, Raw, then Crown Jewel, Survivor Series, and retirement match in December. So, I mean, they could add a couple more dates, but maybe he's going to go to Raw to feud with somebody on Raw, maybe Dominic Mysterio, AJ Styles, who knows? But that SmackDown show in Chicago is really turning up to be something else. Tickets are flying now. Like they were barely moving, and now after the AJ Lee stuff and potentially this being seen as last SmackDown and Brock Lesnar being there, they've definitely picked up ticket sales.
Oh yeah, big show.
All right, let's move into the last match of the night here. The World Heavyweight Championship.
You forgot a match.
What match did I forget?
AJ. Oh no, never mind. AJ Styles. That was Raw. Sorry,
Yeah, that was Raw.
I'm putting it on the PLE because it should have been on the PLE, not on Raw.
Yeah, it should have been. Yeah. World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins retained over CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight.
Yeah.
It's the outcome we said it was going to happen.
Yeah.
We said I'm pretty sure we all agreed that the fourth man was coming out in this match.
Who would have known the fourth man was actually going to be the man?
Well, we didn't know who was going to be the man. Yeah, right. That's why I put
the page done.
Unless they come out and say, no, Becky Lynch is not our fourth man. I think she's the fourth man.
Are they going to do a mixed gender match for War Games now? Are we going to get the Vision, Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and one other person versus the Usos, CM Punk, and AJ Lee?
So that means she will not be defending her championship yet again in the PLE.
Oh, I think AJ Lee is going to take that title off of her.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the big thing. And then eventually CM Punk is going to take the title off Seth. That's going to be a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
They might even do it sooner. They might be happening to Survivor Series. You might, if they do. Listen, I actually think that you see War Games. See, me personally, I think War Games, they should eliminate War Games. It should be every couple of years. He'd change it up, but I'd rather have all brands, all out war going after each other. Just for that one thing, it can make an interesting show. Having people from NXT show up in Raw show up in SmackDown, have a whole. I'd rather have that dynamic. And I know you try to make stories.
You have a Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT.
Yeah, and maybe have AAA too.
Yeah.
It would be fun. Listen, if they do have a mixed gender, War Games now, it takes a championship away from a fight. Or maybe you could have her fight twice. She fights AJ Lee at Survivor Series. She loses the belt, but she's still part of War Games.
See, here's what I think. Let's talk about this match real quick because I have theories. It was a good match for all intents and purposes. I think all the guys got their chance to shine.
Yep.
It was good for LA Knight, good for Jey Uso, good for Punk, good for Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
I knew the minute Punk hit the GTS on Rollins and he bounced off the ropes and came back on his shoulders again, that's where the spot where we were going to get the fourth man was going to show up.
Yep.
I wasn't expecting it to be Becky Lynch.
No.
I believe.
the ninja outfit like freaking Solo Sikoa back and did in freaking.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense for there to be a female member of this group, especially because they're husband and wife and they're both heels right now.
Mm-hmm.
I liked, but the minute it happened, I messaged in our group chat and said, AJ Lee's coming back. It's going to be Punk and AJ versus Seth and Becky at Wrestlepalooza. And most Peacock people, it goes off the air with Punk and Becky standing there in the ring. Or not Punk and Becky, but Seth and Becky standing there in the ring. And then it wasn't until we get the pre-show or post-show where you see Punk walking up the ramp and he grabs the sign from the fan that says, Punk, bring back AJ. Right. And he looks at the camera and gives that kind of oh, well. I think the angle that's interesting. So at this point, it's got to be AJ, especially after what we got on Raw on Monday night with a killer promo, probably the best thing and only reason to worth watching Raw on Monday night was Becky and Punk's promo.
Yeah. You're chatting for someone who doesn't even work in this company.
Right. They're acknowledging her. They're acknowledging AJ Lee. Punk saying, I'm going to make your husband regret ever winning that title, but I'm going to make you regret. You're going to regret ever laying your hands on me. And then he goes in the back and get that exchange of where's Raw on Monday or where's SmackDown on Friday? Chicago. Excellent.
Yeah.
But here's how I think this is going to happen. I think they bring in AJ Lee, and I think it needs to be a yin and yang situation where Seth is a complete thorn in Punk's side. AJ Lee needs to be a complete thorn in Becky's side. They're already saying, it's already out there that AJ Lee's return is not just a one and done. WWE is trying to get her for multiple appearances.
Yep.
I think they have this tag team match, and I think they go to Clash Castle, and then we should get Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee for the Intercontinental Championship at Clash in the Castle, or not Clash at the Castle. Crown Jewel, Perth, and I think that she should take this belt off of Becky in Perth. I think Becky should drop this belt to AJ Lee in Perth. And you just have AJ Lee be the opposite, that complete spoiler to everything Becky tries to do. From there on, she just takes everything from Becky, as to where Seth has taken everything from Punk. I think it keeps the story interesting. It keeps it fresh. People are going to go absolutely bonkers when Light It Up hits tomorrow night on SmackDown. And if WWE doesn't deliver AJ Lee tomorrow night on SmackDown, it's going to be the biggest blue balls in the history of WWE, I think, because they are so just at this point putting it out on Front Street to the point where it leaked. And I think WWE Shop uses chat bots on X, but the fact that you had somebody go to WWE Shop and say, hey, why can't I buy any AJ Lee merch? There's no new AJ Lee merch ahead of Wrestlepalooza. And the chat bot responded, hey, don't worry, we're all excited. Basically saying we're all excited about AJ Lee coming back. We'll have merch ready to go for Wrestlepalooza. And then it gets deleted. So WWE's own bots or AI just completely outs itself about what's going on. All signs are there. Like, everybody wants this. And if they don't, this is what AEW wanted. The sad fact of the matter is that the biggest draw for AEW now works in WWE. Punk, the last time AEW was successful and drew, it was when Punk was part of the company.
I sent you a video reel 3 years ago, just 3 years ago. Freaking AEW had a freaking stacked roster.
Mm-hmm. They pissed it all away.
Yes. Yep. But you know what? You're right. Hey, look, she has to come back now. And if they don't, if they freaking throw a curve and it's somebody else,
it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
It's not going to work at all. It's definitely not going to work.
Unless it's Baron Corbin, because we all know that Baron Corbin is not afraid to deliver an end of days to Becky Lynch.
I know. And he did. And that's what I'm trying to say. I wish Punk would have did a night to her, did that to really have that. But the WWE doesn't want males touching females. That's not part of what was going on now. They really have the intergender matches where girl versus girl, guy versus guy type of thing.
Well, I guess if he comes out saying my partner is very happy, might be Happy Corbin.
Dude,
Punk. They can't at this point. Like, they set this up.
Oh, they did. Look, all kidding aside, when she made her appearance at the con, about her book, right? There was questions. There was questions about asking about if she was going to return. Of course, there's always going to be questions. You know,
That's
and
what that Fanatics Fest, right?
Right now, AJ Lee looks like she could freaking beat the shit out of Seth Rollins. She's freaking in shape, AJ Lee. But like I said, to get her to come, it's going to be one of the big things to bring her back, and that's going to be a big pop. She'll get a huge pop. That'll be a huge pop. But you see, that's the thing. Do you have the huge pop at a SmackDown, a regular show, or you have a huge pop at Wrestlepalooza?
Oh, you get her on TV ASAP and build this match to where it sells tickets to Wrestlepalooza. Like, you got to let people know that she's coming back. You get her on TV ASAP, and those Wrestlepalooza tickets are going to fly off the shelf, or will fly out of the box. It's just a no-brainer. Like, Wrestlepalooza, we haven't even had it all fleshed out. All we know is we're getting John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. We're assuming we're going to get Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins versus CM Punk and AJ Lee. That's just an assumption. That hasn't even been official yet.
Nope.
The only other official match we know we're getting is Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky, which, again, I've been on record as saying Io's last title runs have been boring.
You know
I don't
what?
need to see this again.
Let's just talk about that later, because that's another thing.
That's fine.
I'm freaking aggravated about. Look, right now, freaking Paul Heyman's in the hospital, aka in the hospital because of Roman Reigns putting him out. Does he return? Is it now that way? Is he going to return anytime soon? You got to look at it that way. That Seth Rollins said, "I don't need anybody to freaking do anything I had to do. I do everything myself." Him saying that with his wife coming out, that leave a bad taste in Braun Breaker's mouth, because Braun Breaker wants to get unleashed. He's off unhinged, and Braun Breaker, So to say that you don't need anybody to win your championships, that kind of smack in the face to Braun Breaker and freaking Bronson Reed, who helped you, So I don't know. Like I said, I think
they're going to build their feud with the Usos.
See, me personally, I see. I know it's the first time them fighting, all three or fighting together, but I feel like this happened already. Baron Corbin and freaking Tracy Evans. When they had the fight, when they were boyfriend and girlfriend before they got married, they had the fight, and then Baron Corbin, the other days on Becky Lynch. It's just a rehash of that again, but now they're heels, and they were good last time. So kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
But there's just
didn't work the first time.
I would work about AJ Lee over Lacey Evans and CM Punk over Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I know, but I just feel like the recycling of storylines that kind of, I don't know.
It's the same but different, because there's a different kind of heat behind this, because it's so personal.
Yeah.
There's a different element, a different aura about this match versus Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin against Seth. Because even then, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch's relationship was new. They just started dating. They didn't want it to be on the front of TV, and Vince kind of found out about it and kind of forced them into it. Now they're husband and wife. This makes sense. This makes sense because she's coming out every week talking about her hot husband and, this, that, and the other thing. And it makes sense. But it also makes sense that WWE is kind of in this, we're going to crush AEW mode. And what's the best way to do that is to not only counter program them, but to do what AEW wanted all along, because AEW didn't just want Punk, they wanted AJ Lee also.
Yeah, they did.
And you wanted AJ Lee versus Britt Baker. You wanted that, and I think that's kind of why they went out and got Saraya or Paige, because Punk wasn't going to deliver AJ Lee, and AJ Lee wasn't interested in that. And so they got Saraya, and then now we see where that is. But obviously it's working, and AEW is scared of what WWE is going to bring out at Wrestlepalooza, because they went and moved All Out to 3 p.m.
Yep.
They were both supposed to go head to head at 8 p.m., I believe, and now AEW moves All Out back to 3 p.m.
Smart. I think it's smart on that part. You don't want to go head to head with them.
Well, I think it's smart for one particular reason. If you're a wrestling fan, it actually a win-win situation for the wrestlers because they are wrestling fans because you can watch both shows.
Well,
Kinda.
yes and no, which we'll talk about in a minute because AEW kind of just gave the middle finger to their fans a little bit with their new streaming deal they just announced.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that in a minute.
Let's show our results here.
Holy shit, Dom won?
Dom won.
Get out.
So we all got that 10-point bonus for the tag team championship. Matt, you got the 10 points for the for something. Whatever one I told you, you got 10 points for.
You got for something.
For calling how they were going to get rid of Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. And
yes, that one. Yep. And me and Dom took 10 points for the fourth man in the last match, even though Dom had him in 2 matches, but Dom still said,
yeah, Dom thought the fourth man was coming out at the Braun Breaker match or the Bronson Reed match.
Which would have been, what would have been like, look, it could have worked out like if you had the fourth man show up in the Braun Breaker match, hooded, not know who it is, interfere in the crowd.
Yeah, I think that the fourth man coming out in the match the fourth man came out in was the only match the fourth man could have came out in. Having them come out in the Bronson Reed, it counters what you're doing because you want that fourth man to come out, like even Matt said, during a championship match.
Yeah, that's true. Should I have the fourth man come out? Every freaking
they got Breaker. They've already got Breaker. Breaker wasn't out there. I don't know why Breaker didn't come out before the end of the match. I mean, Breaker comes out after the match.
We still might get another friggin' entry into the division. I think someone is going to be leaving the division. I think it's going to be Braun Breaker.
No, we got to get through War Games, man. We still have to build to Survivor Series. We know the War Games match is going to be the Vision versus. It's just a matter of is it going to be the Vision, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Becky Lynch, and fifth man to be named later versus CM Punk, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, LA Knight, and AJ Lee. Is Roman Reigns going to be in there at some point, somehow, some way?
Right.
I just think that's where they're heading, is that the Vision versus CM Punk and all this other team is where they're going for War Games.
Right. Well, and like you said, like there's already doubt kind of putting a pinhole in that faction because I don't need anybody to help me win.
Yeah.
MFR, I just helped you win your title.
That's what I'm trying to say. So there could be some kind of tension that down the road. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, that's
Paul Heyman turns on everyone but his mother. Giving him the old forearm to the nuts on two times in that one match, right?
Yep.
One to Punk and one to Reigns.
Yeah.
Just to go with Seth for whatever reason. Seth doesn't need a guy on the mic, but we've already talked about that. I don't know. I think the blow up from this is going to be coming probably closer to War Games, but I think War Games is when it's going to probably break apart, and we'll get.
I think it lasts at least till the road to WrestleMania.
You sure? Think about that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
it
splinters off.
Listen, I could see an instance where they're together. Sammy wins the Royal Rumble, and shit starts to get hairy for that group. And Braun Breaker turns on Seth, spears him, and helps Sammy win the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania next year. And then that's where that all starts to go south. They're pushing Breaker as the next big thing, but I don't think they're in any rush for Breaker to hold either like big championship title right now.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get a championship, but I do think that they might splinter it so you get Heyman and Breaker, or maybe Heyman, Breaker, and Reed, and then Seth. If there is another fifth man, now we'll call him the fifth man. There's another person in this faction that with Rollins. Now you got a double. I don't know.
All I know is
seems like they're laying the seed.
Double fisting.
Well, it happens. I think they're laying the seeds for what with that whole splinter of the faction. That's all I'm really saying, I guess.
I finally won.
There you go. Hey, good job, Dom.
There you go.
Rigged. Dom should have lost 10 points for saying that.
Listen, all I know is
the fourth man was coming out during the Bronson rematch.
Thanks for Sticks doing Steiner math. I'm a champion.
You're like 100 years old.
That's funny.
Oh.
Well, like I said, we'll see. Give or take. What do you grade freaking Clash in Paris?
I give it a solid B- show. No, I'll give it a B+ show. It was good. Really, the only two matches I wasn't a fan of were the Wyatt Six versus Street Profits and the Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Nikki Bella. I think if you replace Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella with AJ Styles versus Dom Mysterio, it's they could have swapped that and had that match on the PLE and then Nikki versus Becky on Raw.
Julia fight.
Dude, Julia's old news.
Yeah, I know.
But that's the sad thing is that they took two of the hottest stars in Julia and Stephanie, called them up to the main roster, and like I said, they would do with Carmelo Hayes, they did do with Carmelo Hayes, and like I said, they would do with Trick Williams, and I feel like they'll do with Obafemi, is they completely dumped water on him and put him out. Like, who can't? Why Stephanie hasn't wrestled in over a month?
Nope.
Now she's getting
2 months.
2 months now. Now she's getting the shaft, and we're gonna see her. Yeah, she is going to wrestle on Wrestlepalooza against Io again. Why is Io getting all of a sudden just getting another play?
They should have had a triple threat match or a four-way match to determine the fight for the championship. See, and of course Stephanie gets the upper hand because she won the battle royal, and that's fine. But you should have had 4 contenders fight for that one spot. And have that at a on.
You got that battle royal.
It's going to be a triple threat. Yeah, I agree, and that's what I said months ago, or a couple shows ago, is that they should have had Stephanie be the number 1 contender and do a tournament to determine her opponent.
Nope.
Just giving it to Io Sky is like lazy writing. It's like they didn't.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I'm
going
to tell you this. This is one of the reasons why I think they gave it to Io. The last 2 matches were interfered, and it was electrifying. The first match together they fought, they were doing good, and there was an interference. There was an interference in this match too, which is going to be an interference in this match because the Kabuki Warriors are coming out, and then Rhea's going to come out and going to try to help. But
it's so predictable because they're not putting the belt on Stephanie right now. Stephanie is not winning the belt at Wrestlepalooza.
Listen,
it's going to go to Io, and Io's going to lose it to Rhea.
Listen, and that's the thing. That's what they're going to do. That's what they want to do. They want to friggin' have Io Sky win the belt, have her fight Rhea at the Survivor Series to lose the belt to her.
I don't know.
To hold it at the placeholder for the time being.
You're forgetting about Perth. They're gonna put the belt on Rhea in Perth, in Australia.
Yes, it's been a hometown. Exactly. And what is Perth? What is that one? That's in October, right?
Yes.
So you're gonna have this girl win the belt for 2 months, for like 2 weeks, and then go out to Perth and lose, and that's sad.
It's going to be that's Io Sky's MO though.
Yeah,
she wins the title, does nothing, is the afterthought as the champion, drops said title.
And you know what the crazy thing is? The crazy thing is that she finally loses to Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley finally gets her win against Io Sky and plus wins the championship on top of that to put her over the top. And then you're going to have Stephanie Vaquer versus freaking Rhea Ripley for WrestleMania, possibly. You know, because they'll probably do that to probably push her for WrestleMania. You know, or better yet, Royal Rumble. Do something. Yeah. But this is the whole problem. It's too predictable, and it's really. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine. What women do they have in the back that are freaking championship caliber? And that's sad.
They don't. That's why you're seeing the same people revolve around the world title.
Same circle of the same handful of girls, women. And that's the problem. They don't have worthy freaking championship opponents out there.
How many times in previous eras have we had talent that was talent, but you still had that lower level wrestlers that were still going out doing job matches. Yeah, they lost, but they were still going. We're getting the same 5 people. These 2 are fighting 3 times. These 2 are fighting 4 times. They do a tag team match against each other like twice.
And look, you get the tag team championship on freaking goddamn on freaking Charlotte and Alexa to take them out of the championship thing for SmackDown because those are the same people over and over again for a championship. You finally put the championship on Naomi and she gets pregnant, so she's out of the equation. You still have Tiffy Time still holding the belt.
Who's she gonna fight next?
Exactly. Who is she?
Nia Jax for the 5th fucking time.
That's the problem. Nia Jax. You're gonna bring up a girl. Listen. You still have freaking what's her name is not ready. I don't think
Jade
Cargill is ready for a championship match, championship belt yet. I think she still needs to perform. I think she'd be good to win the U.S. Championship or the Intercontinental Championship. That could be more her style for the time being. Look, you got to build these girls up. You got to build these women up. The mid cards have to overshadow the championship cards for one particular reason, because those mid cards determine your champions down the road. You have to build. Look, and they have women in the back. They have women in the back.
They do.
That they don't use. And that's the sad thing. They use for backstage segments.
Well, that's my problem is that they let go of caliber talent like Dakota Kai. Yes, she was injury prone, but they keep essential valet talent. Like, why is Maxine Dupree still here? Why isn't Natalya doing more? Why is Natalya still just hanging around?
They want to unleash her persona that she wants to release.
I understand that, but
I don't understand. Like, it aggravates me. Yes, you have great talent down in NXT. You know what? Bring up rosters. Bring up the character. Bring them up.
Where the hell's Ivy Nile been?
Yes, where has she been? Where are the freaking goddamn the brothers Creed been? The Creed brothers. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have Chad Gable, you can't use them? Which I don't understand. Because they're in the storyline. Chad Gable's out. How do you not use these guys? Why do you put them on the shelf? Because the main person's not there. You could still use these characters and these wrestlers. It makes no sense.
And it's not like they wrote him off because when Chad left, he said to keep up the fight.
Yeah.
For Alpha Academy. Or whatever they call themselves now.
Yeah.
So you're right. I mean, why aren't they getting play? Why are they getting at least dark matches that we don't see?
And probably are. I mean, there's a lot of dark matches that they do have. But you need going back to the women's championships, you need these mid cards to be bigger than life. Look, to be honest with you, when friggin' Roman Reigns held hostage the belt for 3 years when he wasn't half the time, at least the Miz tried making the Intercontinental Championship, irrelevant.
Relevant, yeah.
going out there and trying to make the women have to do that. You gotta look. The Kabuki Warriors, you're gonna have them fight. You put them together to be heels now. When are they gonna fight for tag team championships? Because right now, they're not gonna fight for the tag team championships.
They're not. That's the problem.
Where they gonna fight?
They are using them strictly as storyline to get us to the inevitable match that we're gonna get of Io Sky versus Asuka. Kairi Sane's an afterthought in all of this. Why isn't she out there fighting for a mid-card title? Why is she nothing more than Asuka's lapdog?
Yep.
Now, she was actually out there competing, and it's like because she hurt
Liv Morgan.
It's like she's
shelved.
been exactly shelved. And Lyra, why isn't Lyra doing more? Who cares that she can't fight for the Intercontinental Championship? Why isn't she going after the main title? Why is Roxanne just coming in and being like, I deserve to be in this title match? And now I feel like we're going to get a triple threat match at Wrestlepalooza where it's going to be Roxanne Perez versus, Io Sky versus Stephanie Vakir. Why? Like, it just doesn't. Their mid card is so crappy, and you've got the same people just floating around their main championships to the point we don't even know who Tiffany Stratton's next opponent's going to be.
What about the friggin' what's the face? Roxanne's
Raquel Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. They said that she's in line for a championship belt to hold the belt. They were talking about that giving her the belt on her, which I wouldn't mind if they gave her the belt for the time being, because that'd be a great story for when Liv comes back, and they're probably gonna wait for that. But that's the whole thing. You're not utilizing the talent that you have back there. Like I said last time, at least in the Attitude Era, they used the people in the back, the bench warmers that didn't do anything, and put them in freaking big groups. Especially the Ministry of Darkness. They had everybody. The characters that didn't do anything. The Ministry of Darkness, they put them together and had that big thing. Mm-hmm. And then they had the corporate ministry. They don't utilize all their talent. And then they let them go. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you let them go. Meanwhile, they could have did something for you. Mm-hmm. It pisses me off. Like, it still pisses me off that Karrion Kross was let go. Guy was freaking selling T-shirts, making money for the damn company. Freaking had big pops every time he came out. You can't freaking sign them on the
I think it's all Scarlett. I think, they don't. It kind of goes back to what I was saying. They don't want to hire valets, and they don't want to have a bunch of valet talent. So why are they going to give Scarlett this big contract if she's not going to wrestle?
But she's going to wrestle in the independent scene now.
Yeah, I know, but
yeah. So I don't understand that. At least Scarlett does some stuff compared to some of the other wrestlers that aren't doing anything in the back. But that's the thing. The reason why you have valet staff is because you don't put them in storylines where they wrestle and have to do something. And that is the problem. WWE has a big problem.
Well, themselves. Yeah. Themselves. It comes back to what Matt said.
When Matt said about the friggin' creativity bankruptcy, meaning that they don't know how the creativity is not there.
You can't have, let's go back to the women. You can't have women's division if you only have 3 or 4 women that you're cycling through, and then you're trying to make tag teams, and you don't really even have a tag team division. You don't have a tag team division.
Oh. Look, my thing is
they're trying to pull something out of the air that isn't there.
But then you read articles. Oh, they're interested in signing these people, that people, this person, that girl, this and that.
Use who you've got.
Use what you got. And the only reason why they're interested in signing people, they don't want AEW getting anybody. That's the whole reason.
That's all it is. They want to keep it out of the competition, which they've done in the past. They've done that in the past. Hire people. Even AEW has done that though, because they don't want them to go back to WWE. They'll re-sign them and match with WWE just to pay them to, like you had. Like right now you've got Danhausen. Danhausen, WWE is interested in signing him. Oh, well, no, he's on injured reserve time now.
Yeah.
So they can't. Was it not Penta, but his brother.
Who?
Penta's brother.
Ray Phoenix.
Yeah, Ray Phoenix. When he was going to be coming over. Nope. Injured reserve time. We'll keep you in it for another 6 months and pay you. Why?
Yeah.
Why you're not going to use the guy?
Look,
just keep him out of there. You're just delaying the inevitable.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it kind of like.
But we haven't seen Ray Phoenix for a while either, though. Quite frankly.
Well, he was.
Was he with the triple? Was he at AAA? Was he on AAA the other?
Yeah, he did. Wasn't he?
No, I don't think he was. Dragon Lee was.
No, Ray Phoenix is with freaking what's his face? Andrade. They haven't.
Andrade.
Yeah,
they haven't done anything though.
The ladder match was the last thing they had. The table, ladders, and chairs in the last pay-per-view.
TLC match. Okay.
So I don't know, man. Yeah. It gets to a point where your storyline becomes bigger than the rest of the roster, and you have more of the storyline for those people, but other people you don't. Like the big thing, the big draw for SmackDown for over 3 years was the Bloodline, and that overshadowed everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was written. I'll say it was written well.
It was. It was well written. The storyline, this and that. The other storylines fucking suck. And Matt is right. Freaking goddamn creativity bankruptcy. Plain and simple. Mm-hmm. You tell me you have these girls in the roster that can't freaking fight, but you're looking this like Matt. You walked away. I was telling him they have no they don't play. They don't use the other people, but they're always looking to get. I'm gonna get this guy. Oh, I'm looking to sign that guy. This girl, that girl. Use the people you have, and then you let them go. Oh, we don't have anything for them. This and that. You let them go. So that means you already have a storyline for the next girl you pick that you get. You already have a storyline for her. That you couldn't use that. You couldn't use Natalia. You couldn't use a freaking Maxine. You couldn't use any of those people for the same thing that you could have used for somebody else.
Yeah. Look at what. Here's the perfect
example.
Why
sign someone if you know a storyline for?
Look at what Shotzi's doing.
Yeah.
Shotzi leaves WWE and goes on the independents, and now she's kind of like the hottest woman in wrestling right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she's doing it in intergender matches with Matt Cardona, but still, like, people are talking about Shotzi.
I said to that thing that Shotzi was talking about somebody's nutsack, and all of a sudden Scarlett, fuck you, and they're like, they use the curse words in it.
Talking about Matt Cardona.
Yeah. And look, and I'm telling you, they get so that's the thing. You leave WWE, go to the independent scene, you come back, you become better. But see, and the reason why WWE is signing all these people because they want to take it out of the hands of their competition, and like I was telling Sticks, they don't want AEW getting anybody, so that's why they're trying to sign all these people. But then let the roster go. Then AEW wants to signing everybody, a bunch of people anyway, because you're letting people go. Storyline: you had no use for Braun Strowman. You tell me you couldn't put Braun Strowman as part of the Wyatt Six again. You could have put him as part of the Wyatt Six and have him as the Beast with that. You tell me you couldn't. You told me
I actually like the Wyatt Six. Like I like them bringing in Dexter Loomis. I like Joe Gacy in there. I think they fit.
I like Loomis.
I think too the same thing. I think it's great too. But their storylines and creativity, they don't know what to freaking do half the freaking time. You have women that are in the back that are starving for an opportunity to come out and be on the TV, and you keep using Meach, and nothing against Meachin, but how many times Meachin gets all the shots? That's the only one in the back that can freaking stand up and
where's Zelina Vega been?
Yep, where is she? Where's Zelina Vega? She lost that match.
Why are we taking so long to bring Bailey back to TV?
Yep. Right.
And
if you want to bring wrestlers in, you got a bunch of wrestlers in NXT right now that are ready to come up. Jordan Grace, freaking Lola Vice. You have all these girls that can come up opportunities to give these girls opportunities to fight and make these mid card No, listen, you're not going to make excitement for the Intercontinental Championship going to Raw now and then moving the U.S. title to another thing and going back and forth and moving them. You're not going to make excitement. You need competition. You need to get more championship caliber chicks to fight these matches. You know, and it sucks.
Here's what I'm going to pose to you, gentlemen. Raw, SmackDown, NXT. NXT's on CW, a little harder to do, but having that third hour makes room for you to have more matches with more people.
What I counted that with Raw and SmackDown were 3 hours, and they still did nothing.
They still did. But that's not
more segments behind more freaking hallway segments.
That's not the length problem. That's the booking problem.
Creativity, vacancy. You tell me you can't for 3 hours. You can't make a good story for 3 hours. You can't have nonstop wrestling. Didn't they say that SmackDown or Raw was going to be more of nonstop wrestling than segments in the back? There are more segments.
Well, it has to be because of less time. But yeah, well, yeah.
You know, look, somebody just posted, like I posted the thumbnail on TikTok. Somebody replied, gee, WWE is just like WCW, getting all those 40 plus people. That WCW used to get the 40 plus people, and from snatch them up. AEW is doing that because they're getting all the older people now fight. But the whole fact is that we still have 40 plus some people that are fighting.
Yeah, the difference is when WCW was taking them, they were taking like the Hogan and Macho Man and Flair and Orndorff.
But the flip side is that look what Hogan did with his career. Like, if he doesn't go to WCW, we don't get the NWO. We don't get Hollywood Hogan. We don't get the arguably greatest faction next to DX in professional wrestling history. Like,
you're right.
He reinvented himself. Like, I'm okay with older wrestlers like that reinventing themselves. It's like when they go to die, kind of like what it feels like is going on in AEW when they jump ship to go to WWE because WWE is like, listen, we don't want, it's been real, but we don't have any plans for you. We're going to let you go. And they go to AEW to just deteriorate. Like, what really has Adam Copeland done in AEW since heading over there? What has Christian Cage done since heading over there? Except for talk about people's dads, dead dads and stuff. And like, it's not like Cody Rhodes jumped ship, came back.
Yeah.
I would love to see Kenny Omega in WWE, but in the Young Bucks, but I don't know. MJF, like, look at Bobby Lashley. AEW is essentially just doing the same shit as WWE.
Yeah.
Why do we have the Hurt Business or the Hurt Syndicate?
Hurt Syndicate compared to the
Hurt Locker. It's still the Hurt Locker. Yeah.
Hurt Locker.
Yeah. You're not getting the same. It's not the same caliber of people leaving here, really. In prior eras, but we're also not getting the creativity in the back that like we used to either. Now, even before the Attitude Era, there was a good era in between there where we got shit too.
Yeah, the early 2000s.
So there's always that lull in creativity, which maybe hopefully this is what it is. It's a lull, and then we snap out of it and come back. But
there shouldn't be, especially in a day and age like today where professional wrestling is essentially bigger than it's ever been. There shouldn't be this lull, and we shouldn't have to sit through same match after 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 same match.
That's just being that's laziness. Just doing it that way.
you can set your watch to, because Seth Rollins has that championship, he's not, and that's the predictability of it. I think the predictability of it too is kind of the nail in the coffin, because oh well, Seth Rollins, there's no predictability in when Seth Rollins is going to lose that belt. He's holding it till WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I like the swerve angle. I like that they're kind of now all of a sudden, like, we didn't think Solo Sikoa was going to lose to Sammy, and now Sammy's the title. I like that, but they're not doing that enough with the main championship. They're not creating enough new stars with the main championship. Like, look at the World Heavyweight Championship. We created that belt to have a second title on the brand, to make it to where Roman Reigns didn't dominate, because he had dominated the business for 3 years. We had one title that was held for 3 years. So you make the World Heavyweight Championship, right? Held by Seth Rollins, held by Gunther twice. Seth Rollins is on his second run. Who else? Jey Uso held that belt for a month. Who else was champion? Who am I forgetting? Anyone? I don't think so.
No.
Oh, Damian Priest.
Damian Priest.
Yep, Damian Priest.
Dude, why? Where's Finn Balor? Why isn't Finn Balor getting a chance? Why is he stuck in creative hell with the Judgment Day?
I don't know.
Why do we keep going back from? Why do we keep passing the title from the tag titles from Judgment Day to Viking Raiders to New Day? Judgment Day, Viking Raiders. Oh, that's right, because there's no other tag teams on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're probably going to do the same thing to the Usos. Now that Jimmy's on Raw, the Usos are going to be back fighting for that. So now it's going to be the Judgment Day, Usos, War Raiders, New Day.
Mm-hmm.
Give Woods a chance. Why isn't Woods rocking the United States Championship? Why isn't Woods rocking the Intercontinental Championship right now?
In the morning.
Oh my God. Why isn't he fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship? Like, come on, man. King of the Ring. They were giving him a push, King of the Ring, and then he went nowhere.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
WWE needs to stop. JD McDonough. Give that man had a rocket ship.
On the back.
That man had a rocket ship strapped to his ass when he took that bump off that table and kept on going. Yeah. You don't get that kind of just heat and push from the fans for no reason. You got that. Unfortunately, WWE fans hated that they were pushing John Cena down our throat. Hated that they were forcing Roman Reigns down our throat. But when Roman Reigns came out and broke kayfabe and said, "My name's Joe and I have leukemia," everybody got behind him, which allowed them to do the Bloodline storyline because the fans were behind him.
Yep.
It's just like they're not interested. It's like a lull now where they're doing PLE after PLE after PLE after PLE after PLE after PLE. They're not building new stars. They're like, well, shit, we need to have this PLE main event, so we need to make sure we have a main event caliber person there instead of building them up.
Yep.
Like, you are wasting the last couple years of AJ Styles.
Yep.
Why are we bringing back Brock Lesnar? Who the fuck cares? Really, who cares about Brock Lesnar?
I can't.
You know he's coming back to be a part-timer. You know he's not going to go after any other championship. Who cares about Brock Lesnar? Why are you wasting your time? Why?
Pop.
Why?
Pop.
That's all it is, man. It's just the AEW.
It is all it is.
Bullshit.
No, it's their. I'm gonna call it. It's their version of clickbait.
Well, listen, WWE just lost a guy. He signed with AEW. El Colon, whatever his name is. The hologram.
Who cares? Hologram sucks.
Yeah.
Hologram.
Yeah.
He's been wrestling in AEW for a while now.
Yeah. Oh, that guy. Yeah.
And now they're going to talk about bringing Chris Jericho back. For what? What's old ass Chris Jericho going to do? He was pretty much run out of AEW by the fans by them telling him to retire. That's the only reason he's not going back. And now he's going to come back to WWE for another. Now, if he reinvents himself, cool.
Yeah.
But what's Jericho coming back for? you got to get new up and coming stars, man. You got to build people. You got to make people. Like Ricky Saints should have never went to NXT. Ethan Page should be off NXT by now.
Yep.
Come on, man. Like, Javon Evans, man. He could be a killer. You know, why aren't you going and signing new? I understand Zilla Fatu has only been in the business for a few years. Why aren't you signing new talent like that? The Indies is just filled with this talent, like you're not even looking at. Matt Cardona. What are we doing? What are we talking about here? Like, I don't know, man. It just really feels like WWE's letting good talent walk, and they're just hitching their horses to the same old tired acts.
You see, and that's the thing. Because of their corporate shenanigans, they don't let the wrestlers be the wrestlers. Because you have a protocol on what you have to do. Meanwhile, you get like Shotzi, you get like Macadona, the way they're performing in the indie scene, how things are going there. People are loving it. Have shit like that in WWE, but they won't have shit like that in WWE because they're a corporate entity. A corporate entity.
Yes, they don't care about the matches. They don't care about the quality of the product anymore. They care about selling tickets.
Exactly, and that's it.
But the whole fact is, almighty dollar.
But what sells tickets? The matches. You want people to come to say "holy shit" moments. That's what you want. But they're so freaking goddamn corrupted by the fact that they want to make money. They don't give a shit that they're putting out a crappy product. You know, sitting down wrestlers that should be fighting. You get Julia and Stephanie Vakir, two of the hottest female wrestlers to come over in a long time. And like you said, again, Stephanie Vakir hasn't fought in 2 months. Just about. Yep. It's going to be 2 months from Wrestlepalooza. Freaking goddamn. You have Julia, now she has an advocate that walks around with her. That she has to have that you.
Why?
Exactly.
Because her English sucks.
Yeah, you know
her
what?
Promo ability sucks.
I know, but you could still have somebody that you could have that, but the fact is that you still have a wrestler.
Here's the biggest travesty: Ilya Dragunov. Oh, he's good to go. He can wrestle, but we're gonna hold him off.
Wait.
Till we have storyline. Why isn't he in storyline? Why isn't he feuding with somebody? Why isn't he already in?
He was with a feud with AJ Styles. So what you do is you have him fight AJ Styles. What are you gonna wait till AJ Styles win the belt that they're trying to do in Wrestlepalooza, and then he comes out and he attacks AJ Styles, and then you have a storyline with that for the Intercontinental Championship. Look, it is a bore. As much as we love wrestling, and we try to get excited week in and week out, there are times you sit there and it's so complacent that you get freaking bored.
I'm there right now. And, the most AJ Lee coming back is the most exciting, like, angle for me since John Cena turned heel.
Yeah, and you know what? Listen, like at first, I was all for the Seth Vision thing. Was that's going south. You know,
it's been a dud. It's been a dud.
Having jobber matches, having freaking goddamn Braun Breaker lose, and freaking always interfering. There's always a disqualification matches. You fight all the time. Come on, it gets boring. It gets played out.
Well, even the way the show start. Yeah. Why can't we get kick off Raw with a good wrestling match? Why do we have to go into 20-minute promo where nothing is said? And then it's gonna, Raw starts and ends the same way every week. There's the Vision's opponent in the ring, interrupted by Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, leads to main event with said same fucking people from the main event from the previous weeks. Why can't we just get?
Why can't you have one of the women come out in the beginning and go, you know what? I'm feeling a little itchy. I need someone to scratch the itch. Anybody in the back, you got this open call. Let's fight. Have somebody come out. You have an opening match they used to do that a long time ago, before it was corporate.
This is what I would have done with the women's championship. We have a vacant women's world heavyweight championship, right? I would have said, Stephanie Vakir, you are already You have already punched your ticket to Wrestlepalooza.
Yep.
Well, really, you already punched your ticket to Clash in Paris.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to have a women's battle royale to determine your opponent for that title at the start of Raw. You kick off Raw and just chaos. You start Monday Night Raw with all these women just fighting each other in the backstage.
Yep.
For this title. You make that title the hottest thing in professional wrestling for the women right now. And you have them all. You have NXT superstars. You have Raw superstars. You have SmackDown superstars just brawling to try and be in this. Because obviously they're fine with just randomly moving people around because Roman Reigns is on Raw now. Jimmy Uso's on Raw now. LA Knight's on Raw now. Sami Zayn's on SmackDown. Have just this massive, fight breakout at the beginning of Raw. Get Raw started on some excitement.
Yeah.
Don't just have 20 minutes of lulled, boring-ass conversation like you're watching a TED Talk to kick off your premium show on your premium streaming service. At this rate, Netflix is going to exercise to tell WWE to suck a fat cock after 5 years.
Yep.
Because remember, it's a 10-year deal, but after 5, Netflix could pull out. It's just, you gotta pump some life into this, man.
You got to make it exciting.
You have these women fight, and you say, all right, you want to fight for this title? We're going to settle it in the ring with a women's over-the-top battle royale to kick off Monday Night Raw to determine Stephanie Vakir's opponent for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship.
Or you could also do a men's battle royal to a point where to have somebody go up the next line for the championship, even doing the storyline with Seth, have a storyline. You go with the storyline, you can still throw somebody else into the storyline. That would be like a curve. Steph is worrying about freaking CM Punk. How long are you going to have the Seth and CM Punk feud? How long is this feud going to be? Until freaking goddamn CM Punk wins the belt off Seth, and that's it?
He's not going to, though. I don't think he's
That's what I'm trying to say. The whole fact is that this feud grows old. There are other people that these guys can fight. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker should be fighting other people.
Punk versus Cody needs to happen. Like,
Yeah.
you need to move stuff around a little bit.
Roman Reigns versus Seth. Roman Reigns has never beaten Seth. He has to beat Seth for his to get the freaking finally move past that thing. There's a couple of matches that people haven't won yet. You're right. AJ Styles, Intercontinental Championship. Sheamus, Intercontinental Championship. John Cena, Intercontinental Championship. Those are 3 guys that have not won the championship. You could throw that damn championship around and have matches. You could have Sheamus versus AJ Styles versus Cena to fight Dominic Mysterio for the belt. What? Does it fit the storyline? Because it would make more sense. It would pump new blood into the storyline.
Well, look what WWE used to do with the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah.
Where did we get this new crop of women that are on top of the business? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. The Mae Young Classic. Where did Rhea Ripley come from? The Mae Young Classic.
Yep.
Where did Toni Storm come from? The Mae Young Classic. Where did Tegan Knox come from? Mae Young Classic. Where did, all these women, like, that's the thing. It's like the Mae Young Classic created stars, and WWE's not doing that anymore.
Nope.
You just bought AAA. You're in a partnership with TNA. Why are we still having the same watered down bullshit every week?
Why can't you have some TNA guys show up to Raw and go, listen, you think you're big and bad? I want your championship. Have other stuff like that. Instead of having NXT go to freaking back and forth with TNA, because TNA is not a developmental freaking goddamn brand.
It's like the only person who's allowed to cross brands to the main roster is Joe Hendry.
Yeah. What the heck?
I don't know. Sound like a broken record now.
Yeah, we do. We do.
All right.
Let's get to this.
Let's move into what sticks. We
The
sound like
end of-
sticks to the internet.
The end of NXT this week. Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
Finish it.
Yeah. ridiculous.
Say his name.
I just did.
So AEW's been in the news recently for all the wrong reasons. We learned today that AEW had finally finalized their pay-per-view deal with HBO Max, and they're going to be streaming on HBO Max beginning with All Out on September 20th. But there's a caveat. With AEW officially announcing its pay-per-view events will now stream on HBO Max beginning with All Out on September 20th. The event will be available to purchase for $39.99 with pre-orders opening this Friday. So not only do you have to pay for an HBO Max subscription, they want you to pay an additional $39.99 for AEW All Out. AEW All Out 2025 will broadcast live from the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto and will stream ad-free in HDR10 and Dolby Atmos. Once purchased, events will appear in my purchases section under my stuff tab on HBO Max. Replays will remain accessible for up to 6 months. As part of the lead-in All Out 2025, fans can tune into AEW Saturday's Tailgate Brawl, a special 1-hour live show airing on both TNT and HBO Max at 2 p.m. Eastern. All Out 2025 will follow at 3 p.m. Eastern. Who?
Cheaper for me to go there and watch it.
Dude. And it's because AEW's not making any money domestically. They make money internationally, but they're not making any money domestically. They can't afford to give us a deal like WWE. They can't. It's just not feasible. But $39.99, like you got people complaining that WWE is going to ESPN and now charging $30 a month, but you want an additional $40 a month on top of already paying for an HBO Max subscription.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. It's not feasible. It doesn't work.
This money's ridiculous. To pay to watch this wrestling stuff, it gets to the point where it's like, come on, man. I'm not paying for HBO Max and then paying $39 for a fucking pay-per-view. I'm telling you that. I didn't want to pay for the pay-per-views I have now. You know, now that I have to go, I got a VPN, you know, to do my thing, because basically I don't want to pay all these streaming services to watch all these freaking goddamn shows. You know,
speaking of that, how funny is that Stephanie McMahon is pushing a VPN on her podcast as part of the WWE network after they just signed this deal? And she's like, oh, yeah, just watch WWE programming with a VPN. And it's, all right, cool. No big deal.
Yeah.
You know, my thing is, look, they're still going to make money regardless of the fact of what they use. WWE is going to make money. They're going to be, they sleep, they print money as they sleep. So
someone's making money.
It's just really bad. It's bad. You know, it's bad for the wrestling fan. The wrestling fan is the one that gets screwed out of everything. You have a son or daughter that likes wrestling, and your mom can only afford a certain amount of things on TV. Things are expensive. She's a single mom working hard to try to provide for her kids, and her kids like wrestling and stuff like that. And she tries to show, and you can't watch this. You have to have this, and this, and this, and this, and that. And she only makes a base income of $30,000 a year. You know, and she's
my pitch to this mother would be: there's plenty of independent wrestling on YouTube weekly.
But I don't like that. But I want to see Roman Reigns. I want to see Seth freaking Rollins. So that's the thing.
Can't afford them. We can't afford
them. You're not seeing them on main event.
Yeah,
you're gonna get whoever's on GCW, or
if she's a single mom trying to
LWO or whatever.
If she's a single mom trying to provide for her kids, she should freaking find a sugar daddy to help her provide more.
Yeah.
Just call Dom.
Those kids will be taken care of. They'll go to the main wrestling to see wrestling live instead of seeing that shit on TV. Nah, but all kidding aside, it sucks, because if you have kids that want to watch these shows, you got to pay all this money. That's a lot of freaking money for these freaking apps and freaking streaming services.
Absolutely. I've even got to figure out what I'm going to do with this. I haven't even had a chance to look into it.
What you're gonna do with what?
ESPN.
Oh,
Whether or not I'm gonna.
you're gonna shell out $29.99 a month for it, or a VPN.
There you go.
Well, they said there's other ways your cable provider. Or,
Well, yeah. Do you have a cable provider?
I can't. We have Spectrum here. I don't even know if that's one of the.
I think it is.
Yeah, I'd rather pay $30 a month and get more than just ESPN. But
speaking about ESPN, right now the football game is delayed. Weather.
Yeah, lightning.
Yeah.
I thought it was on Peacock, the Dallas game.
It's on Peacock and
ESPN.
No,
Peacock.
NBC.
NBC. But the whole fact is that what's his name? The defensive tackle freaking spit on Dak Prescott to get ejected from the game. That was opening the game before the game even started. But look, let me tell you something. We live in a world where everything is cable based. We all know that. Got to pay. Like my wife was saying, my wife got paid. She's going to pay the cable, the internet, say this is that. All these damn things before. It's ridiculous, and you never get ahead. Never get ahead because they keep adding shit. And I want to get rid of shit. They keep adding shit. But I don't know, Matt, man. Sometimes I get excited wrestling, and sometimes I'm like, you know what? It's not as good. It's not a good product. It really isn't.
It's not been good, especially like where they have to go give attention to old wrestlers that are not relevant anymore, like Matt Riddle, who's out here running his mouth about anything and everything that he can.
AJ Lee, I could beat freaking Roman Reigns and this guy in street fights, real fights.
Well, real fights, yeah. The dude was in MMA. I mean, I'm not going to take that away from him. Like, we're talking, like, look at CM Punk, who tried to go to MMA.
You see what the dude looks like now?
Yeah, with his pink hair.
And nails, and I think he's freaking cross wrestling. He's nuts.
I just don't understand, like, why he's talking about AJ Lee, and he's saying these things about AJ Lee, but AJ Lee was retired before he even came over.
No, the whole
they
time
never even worked together.
because he's bitter against CM Punk.
Yeah,
he's bitter against CM Punk, so he's trying to get under CM Punk's nail by talking trash.
It's his way of trying to stay relevant. AJ Lee is in the mouths of wrestling fans. He's gonna have that in his mouth. The wrestling fans. He mentioned AJ Lee. What do you say about AJ Lee? Oh.
Yeah. She's being tossed around. She was tossed around. I respect AJ Lee.
And just kind of talking about him for a second. Him pulling out or whatever happened with that wrestling match that he was supposed to do.
Took money from veterans and deposited and disappeared. Did it come out?
They replaced him. They replaced him with Gordo. He's one of the UK wrestlers. I think he used to be in AEW or somewhere, and they liked him better than Riddle because he's a UK based, and he's apparently he's pushed the UK wrestling into the forefront from coming out. I don't know if he was in maybe he was in NXT.
When you talk shit, that means you're trying to become irrelevant because you're not irrelevant. You're not relevant. You're trying to. You're trying to
keep yourself. That's all it is.
But
I got to say something, do something. To people remember my name. Oh, Matt Riddle, he's still alive. He's still around. That kind of thing. So.
But now you see. Now I'm gonna tell you this. Going back to all these, AEW with the app, extra 30. That's not gonna fly. How much is HBO Max?
Well, they were already. They were already charging about $30 for a pay-per-view on Fight anyway. It's not really changing. It's just going to be on HBO
It's
Max.
more than that because you're getting like a 10% discount or something like that on HBO for being an HBO Max.
Ooh, 10%.
They're offering a HBO Max with Hulu and Disney Plus bundle now.
Well, they've always been doing that. That's been a. You know what's kind of funny? They're doing that bundle, and HBO Max is part of Disney. Meanwhile, Disney has the right stream for streaming the WWE pay-per-view.
If you want the basic tier with ads for HBO Max, you're looking at $9.99 a month. The standard tier, which has the live sports and CNN Max, like NHL, MLB, that's $16.99 a month. And then if you want the premium 4K on 4 devices with Dolby Atmos, and plus the live sports, you're looking at $21 a month. So really, to add you're looking at about $80 a month to add if you're going to be buying the monthly AEW show too. And that's just HBO Max. That's not including the bundles. You're $39 or $30 a month if you want the Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO Max bundle, and $16.99 a month if you want the bundle with ads. So you're still, they're still, adding a shit ton. I mean, to the point where like it's more expensive than cable is now. Like we're at a point now where to have
absolutely.
all these streaming channels, it's more expensive than if this stuff was just on regular cable. That's always been the problem with this a la carte model.
Yeah, how often did we say before, that's going to be so much cheaper than having, no, it's going to cost you more.
Yeah. I want to go back to Raw real quick to end the show. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about AJ Styles, Dominic Mysterio.
Yep.
And we already kind of talked about how Paris just absolutely gave AJ Styles this incredible entrance. And I think that WWE didn't put the belt, which was a mistake, by the way, but I think the only reason WWE didn't put the belt on AJ Styles in France is because they can't afford to have Dominic Mysterio lose heading into Worlds Collide. Because he's heading into Worlds Collide to face Vikingo one-on-one for the AAA Mega Championship. So if they decide to pull the trigger and put that AAA Mega Championship on Dom, you can't have him go into that show looking weak, having just taken a loss to AJ Styles. Which
I agree with that.
I think that, it was probably a better play and better call to put that title on on AJ in France. But I think at least that's why they didn't pull that trigger. It's because they want Dom to win. By all intents and purposes, Dom should win the AAA Mega Championship from Vikingo at Worlds Collide.
The question, I guess the question would be, are you going to put it on AJ in France because he has earned it, or are you going to put it on him because
both
France likes him?
Now, let me throw in a little shade on this thing. Dominic Mysterio's little workmanship with El Grande Americano. When is that going to backfire and he's going to betray Dominic?
Probably when Dominic wins the AAA Mega Championship.
Yeah.
See, they broke that story up. How come friggin', kidding aside, friggin' Madonna and friggin' goddamn Balor, why aren't they fighting tag team championships?
Because they're against who? The Viking Raiders again?
I was just gonna ask against
the War Raiders again? Like, the New Day? Like who? They're going to against Jimmy and Jey Uso.
Open challenge to both. It goes to any thing. You have a gold. You can anybody.
So we can see a shit tag team like Hank and Tank show up.
Yeah.
Like they already got Fraxium, and Fraxium is
Fraction has been doing
Done
good.
shit.
Yeah, put him in the back segments.
Where have they been again? Yeah, they're not there.
Oh, the last time we saw them, they were telling Carmella Hayes, why you listening to the Miz? The Miz is just using you.
What was it on Raw? Was it on Raw? Or it was
SmackDown.
Where McDonough and Balor are coming out, right? And they're talking about Dominic, and you see Dominic go behind him to go through the curtain, and he's talking
to Americano,
Grande Americano.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. I hope they cut that. I'd have to watch that again.
Poor Chad Gable, man. He gets handed a good gimmick, and El Grande Americano gets hurt, and now is in Ludwig Kaiser's pretty much going to take that gimmick away from him.
Yep.
Where have the other Grande Americanos been the last couple of weeks? They've like all disappeared.
Yeah. Well, how come they should be out every week? There should be some kind of craziness every week.
I'm still waiting for that fatal four-way.
Pete Dunne. Why do you have Pete Dunne running around as El Grande Americano instead of being out there fighting for championships?
Why don't you have El Grande Americano and El Grande Americano fight for tag team championships?
Who knows?
That would be funny.
I don't know. Listen, how can we sit here and put a better show together than Raw and the corporate geniuses there at Raw, in TKO? If we can do.
They have too many people to answer to. We don't.
This is money. Chrissy,
Yep.
You rather have a Becky Lynch, yes, all right, she's a top star champion, come out fighting people for the belt. Meanwhile, you have Stephanie McKeer, the hottest prospect you have on Raw. 2 months. Hasn't fought. 2 months. Well, there's no story for her. You tell me you can't make a story.
That whole thing doesn't.
You tell me you can't make a story.
It's not her fault. I mean, it's not her fault because what's her name, got pregnant. But you got to be able to flow because what if it was just an injury? What are you going to do? You got to roll with the punches.
Listen. Why can't look? You have all these crossovers that are going on right now before you have the draft to close shop. Why couldn't Julia call out freaking Stephanie? Why couldn't freaking somebody in SmackDown call Stephanie out?
What if scenarios? Because but they're not doing
look. You guys know I like Io Sky. You know I like Io Sky. But why couldn't freaking Stephanie McKeer fight freaking getting Tiffy?
Because I just think, man, I really think this brand split shit needs to end. Like, and I agree with you and something Pete said this week is that there needs to be some kind of shakeup to really just refresh these rosters because it's the same shit
over
week after week after week, tired ass shit every week, and there needs to be some kind of like refresh here to really just juice up the rosters again.
It sucks that you do you do the drafts, right? Fine, but I think that champions, no matter what brand, can go to any brand to challenge anybody if you're a champion. That goes with the AAA, that goes with NXT, SmackDown, and Raw.
At that point, why even have the brand split then?
No, because you have the brand, but the fact is that you have the open card because you're a champion. The other people can't go. It's just the champions can go. To make things over. Like, I don't want to keep seeing on one brand the same people over and over and over again. If you're a champion, you know what? 2 weeks you're fighting some dude. All right, I want to fight somebody in NXT. To make it freaking goddamn refresh over and over. Because that year brand split, you do it for a year. It's the same rotation over and over and over and over again. So look, NXT has their tag team championships, their intercontinental, their freaking their championship. You have the European, was it European championship? What's the European championship? What's the one that they have? What's the one that Ethan Page has? What's that championship?
North American Championship.
North American.
Yeah, you have the North American Championship. You got a bunch of championships, and then you, like I said, if you buy TNA, there's another freaking show right there. You have belts on there too. You got the Knockout Championship. You got the. There's so many opportunities for people to come around to make good stories, to have big factions that actually can work. You know, friggin'. Let me tell you something. If Obafemi comes up tomorrow, he's going to be a footnote in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, nobody's going to care.
Nobody care.
And I don't feel like anybody cares about him in
but he's
TNA
dominating
or NXT right now.
But he's dominating NXT. He's like, well, if anybody gets a call up, look, let me tell you something. What they should do is Ricky Starks, Ethan Page, Obafemi, freaking Jordan Grace, Lola Vice, freaking Jada Parker. Just bring them up to the rosters.
He just decimated all of NXT right there.
Because NXT,
there's no point in even having an NXT division.
No, because then you have the other people come in.
Who?
The other people from the freaking, the LF, what's the other thing called? The other freaking development thing they got. They have Dudley Boy, they have Bubba freaking the Undertaker and these guys, freaking Mickey James. Look, you need to build up. You got a lot of people. You got to start putting new blood in these rosters because the rosters getting old. You need freaking young people that you can build for the next generation. Dude,
I don't disagree, but
look, is it sad that I sit back and I watch old clips of the Attitude Era with DX and freaking goddamn The Rock, Triple H? Triple H and Shawn Michaels together were freaking funny as hell, man. They were funny as hell. You know, it's like now you don't get shit.
WWE's so original. We're getting a new nickname for Jey Uso. Have you seen that yet?
Which one?
WWE Shop is now using and selling a Monday Night Raw shirt.
Monday? Monday. Oh, Jesus.
Because
Monday
Night Rollins, Monday Night Jericho.
What about him in the airport with freaking Jada Parker at the airport walking?
Yeah.
You know,
optics.
Bastards.
Yeah.
Bastard. Yeah. Pissed me off.
Oh well. Give them the breaks.
It's just
look. You know, them going after to try to beat AEW, which meanwhile they beat AEW. They don't even have to try to beat them. They beat them because of just popularity alone. But they're making bad choices by pushing their agenda to freaking goddamn acquire companies, to freaking get guys and girls that they don't even freaking use, and bad storylines. You know, Io, like I said, I like Io Sky. She's gonna probably win the belt, and then you're gonna have freaking have Rhea Ripley take the belt, and she's gonna be championship. She's gonna be champion, and then you'll have down the road you'll have Stephanie Fakir fighting Rhea Ripley down the road for the belt.
But what kind of a slap in the face is that to McClure after having to wait 2 months just to lose the belt?
WWE for you, I know.
I'm not saying that she should win. I'm just saying that you've got her on the shelf for 2 months. You don't even have her working, and she's gonna drop. I'd be pissed if I were her.
There's WWE. There's storylines.
Mm-hmm. Oh well.
But anyway,
anything else, Matt? Anything else you wanna?
No, I mean, I think I'm good. I've said my piece. We talked it to death.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
I didn't really have anything. I don't think anything really more. Did anything more come out of RJ and?
No arrest yet. I mean, Rampage Jackson's doing more talking than his son right now, and
yep.
But nothing more is coming out of that.
They had a picture. They had a picture of him smiling.
Yeah, Psycho Stu is out of the hospital,
smiling.
Home.
Yeah, he's home. So
I did see that. Yeah.
Got a bunch of teeth knocked out.
Oh man.
But no arrest yet. They're saying that because LAPD is taking their time, and that an arrest is probably going to happen because it's more of a crime now because of how many people were there witnessing it. So,
Right.
I think it's a matter of like they have to sift through footage and talk and interview people and figure out what was actually a work and what was actually not.
Right.
But I mean, Rampage pretty much is willing to sell his own kid out. He's like, he needs to go to jail. I haven't talked to him. I've pretty much according to Rampage is like I've pretty much disowned him after what he did.
Right.
But now he's trying to kind of push it back on Stu and saying, Psycho Stu was drunk. I've heard he was drunk.
All right, you know what? Let me tell you.
I called and left him a voicemail. He didn't return my call.
I'm gonna give this one thing to you. There's one thing that I can honestly say. In Raya's, what's his name again?
Raja Jackson.
Raja, right? In Raja's defense, like I said, and I said it before, and I'll say it again. You are out on protocol because of a concussion. Regardless of the fact that how he hit you with the can, you get hit in the head with a can being there, not part of the work, you're going to feel some kind of way. And I understand that it should have been right there and then. You would have done it, smashed it, boom, boom, boom. That it built up. People amp people up to go back and forth. But I would have been definitely pissed, and I would have friggin' threw a punch. What are you hitting me for? Because first of all, I'm fighting a protocol that I can't fight because I have a freaking goddamn concussion, and concussions are no joking matter. That's the one thing I can honestly say. Not defending him by the whole thing, because what he did was despicable on what he did after the fact. But
here's the caveat to that, though, Dom. The only person claiming that Raja Jackson had a concussion is his dad. Raja has not said that himself. There have been no doctors that have confirmed that. His dad is the only one saying that he had a concussion.
Okay. You know what? You look, are you going to believe his dad? Because his dad disowns him, the whole fact.
I mean, listen, I'm just this outside of all of it is used. I'm just, reiterating the facts is that the only person screaming concussion is his dad.
All right, fine. All right, just say, but if that is the case, and if he does have a concussion, like allegedly.
He should have never been there in the first place is what it really boils down to.
I know, yeah. But look, we all do things, go places. You can't tell somebody not to go to a place. He went there probably just to check out things, not expecting that to happen. But like I said, at the end of the day, what he did was despicable, and he should be held accountable. But guy hits me in the head with a freaking cane. I'm gonna fucking take him out right there. Now you fucking hit me with a goddamn can. Even though you had your hand, the can it broke, still getting hit in the head with something, and again, apparent concussion. We don't know if it was true. They find out if it is true, but it's just that like this thing is taking too long. If they really wanted to do something, it would have been wrapped up already.
No, I don't think that's it. It's because of how much they have to sift through, and the professional wrestling business. You don't know what to work. You don't know what's real. What was part of the show. What the actual crime was. From what I understand, they're not allowing Stu to watch the videos. Doctors are not. They've taken his phone from him. They're not allowing him to watch what happened because of how traumatic it is. Mm-hmm. And that, rewatching that can have a negative effect on someone with a traumatic brain injury. So they're not letting him watch that. They've kind of isolated that. And it's, you got to go through what level of premeditation was there, who was all involved.
But dude, like you said,
the lawsuits, because there's going to be lawsuits. Right now, I really think a lot of what Rampage Jackson is doing is just trying to distance himself from his son enough to where he's not the one being sued. Because he's the name. His son Raja is not the name. Rampage is the name. Everyone knows that dad's got the money. So I think he's trying to do and say, because every day it seems like he's got something else to say. There's more to say. There's more to say. There's more to say. More fingers to point. And now it's like he's trying to distance himself from his son, so he's not the one catching the lawsuits. Because he's like, hey man, my son needs to go to jail. I haven't talked to my son. I've disowned him. Yeah, I heard Psycho Stu was drunk. It should have never happened. It did, and now someone's got to pay for it. So it's just a matter of, I think, sifting through all that and at what level, are they going to have to get involved on a federal level because of how many people were there?
My thing is that you just own your son. It's still your son. It's still your kid. That's one. Two, you know what? And like I said, Rampage, I don't know any person that would do this, but Rampage should have reached out to Psycho Stu, his family, and saying, listen, I apologize on my son's behalf, this and that. If there's anything I can do, medical bills, let me know. I'll take care of the medical bills, this and that. At least take, that is your son. Even though you just own him, he's still your son. So you could have went at least, find out what happened and then just go and try to pay some medical bills for the guy. Because, obviously, he's not making the money that Rampage made.
No way.
You could have freaking goddamn reached out to freaking Psycho Stu's family and say, listen, I don't have my son does, he's a grown man, this and that, but me as his father, I'm willing, if there's anything I can do, help out the medical bills, something like that,
Yeah. You get a lot of people that chirp in your ear like your lawyers. Hey, don't connect yourself with it. Don't even authorize.
You see me?
Way on, sure they do. Who knows?
I don't know.
All right. I mean, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if anything more had been, but it doesn't sound like we're still kind of in an investigative mode for this. So
yeah, it's still nothing really has come out of it. So
all right.
No arrests or anything like that yet. But
no. Okay. But I think that's it. Man, I don't think.
That's all I was gonna ask. That's all I wanted to.
Yeah.
We've already covered everything, WWE and AEW wise, really.
All right. Well, I think that's it for our show this week. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out and checking out Off the Mat. If you guys like all of our takes on professional wrestling, you can get all of our professional wrestling content here after our beautiful faces are gone from the screen and get so much more. You can go back and watch our Clash in Paris prediction show. Yeah, you can catch more from Dom and Sticks over on Renovision tomorrow night on the Qualified. You can catch Dom and the Star Wars show Sunday nights on Renovision. You can catch Sticks on his channel every Tuesday night for his Doctor Who Rewind show. And then, of course, you can catch me all week long on Absolute Geek. And you can catch all three of us doing what we do best, talking professional wrestling, right back here next Thursday night, 6 p.m. Arizona time, 9 p.m. Eastern
Standard Time
on YouTube. We're going to probably have all of our hot takes about what everyone is speculating to be the return of AJ Lee tomorrow night on SmackDown. With that being said,
it turns out to be somebody else. I would laugh that if she doesn't come out. That'd be like the biggest. That'd be crazy.
The biggest fuck you ever.
Dude, the crowd would throw. The crowd would go bananas tomorrow. If we could throw things,
you'd riot. You'd see a riot on SmackDown.
A riot on SmackDown tomorrow.
Dom, take us out with some words of wisdom, my friend.
All right, cool. September's here. The fall is here. You know what that means? Pumpkin. Everything pumpkin, which is great. And it's from cookies to cakes to ice cream to soups to you name it, pumpkin.
Soup.
Pumpkin's awesome, man.
Pumpkin soup?
Pumpkin soup. Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, peanut butter and pumpkin go together great. It's like peanut butter and jelly. It's really good. Let's try it. But yes, the cold weather's here. The cool weather's coming, and I'm enjoying every moment of it. And that's all I got. It really, pumpkin.
So what we learned?
Okay.
Dom is a basic ass white bitch.
In the ring, the lights go down. Roaring crowd, they scream and shout. Chants echo, shaking the ground. Warriors clash, the game is found.